So the Buffalo Bills, a team that was really one better fourth quarter away from potentially knocking down the Chiefs dynasty, ruining the whole storyline that was being crafted by the NFL. I mean, Taylor Swift, and maybe making the Super Bowl themselves and maybe winning a Super Bowl. Obviously, there was a lot of injuries on this squad, but they still found a way to be really elite in many, many categories. Josh Allen, obviously, you would like to see those turnovers down a little bit, but when it's all said and done, one of the most fun players to watch in the entire league, obviously, and definitely a gunslinger, a risk taker, a lot of underthrows, I will say, but also a lot of arm punts, some deflections, and those interceptions aren't all on him, but he does score a lot of touchdowns as well. If he got those interceptions down, let's be honest, he was MVP every day of the week. But yeah, too many turnovers, and that's just one of the biggest things that kills your vote for MVP. Looking at wide receivers, though, Diggs, definitely an above-average wide receiver, but those numbers are slowing down. They're definitely slowing down. They're not like the truly elite numbers he used to be, used to put up. Gabe Davis, obviously, they seen him as the guy that was going to take that next step. It was him and Higgins, kind of like these teams have elite number twos while having some of the best number ones, and then they took a step back. Specifically, Gabe Davis, didn't really have the season they were hoping he would. Dalton Kincaid, he seems to be the number one tight end now. Dalton Knox, not a great year. James Cook, obviously added to a run game that just really didn't exist. It was a bad run game, and obviously this year with James Cook, they actually had a good running back. So obviously he's going to be the guy that we're going to try to build into that elite starter. Tackles, the tackles are actually pretty good. Deion Dawkins obviously being the best on the team. McGovern apparently is moving to center, which, makes sense. He's a McGovern after all. Obviously Morse is gone now because they need to save money. Hines is gone because they need to save money. Hardy needs to be gone to save some money. And then defensively, no Poyer anymore. No Trey White even. At first I was like, why do that? And then they designated him as a post June 1st release, and they actually do kind of clear $4 million, technically 10, but 4 in like clean money, if you want to call it that. I feel like we're laundering here. But obviously they do have good corners anyways. Taron Johnson is great. Rasul Douglas, good job, Green Bay. What a trade. And then, of course, Kaiir Elam, whenever he's healthy. We'll see if he can develop. We're going to try to develop him in this rebuild, but I don't know if that's actually going to happen. A lot of this is stemming from this man right here, though. The guy that didn't even really play. Von Miller, who is obviously a very good pass rusher, but season ended, and obviously with that age, I'm pretty sure the contract was structured to be at least a 3-year technically, even though it's 6 years just based on guarantees. That's a lot of seasons. I'm not saying I hope he retires for us, but man, would it be something? Ed Oliver obviously got a pretty big contract. He's at least a superstar. Need a new DT too. Russo anyways. What did I just have I don't know what I just said. Russo, very good, obviously. Linebackers, Milano when healthy, one of the best off balls in the league, but that's the problem with this team. A lot of injuries, but they still found a way to be elite in most categories. And then, of course, talking about Poyer being released, used to be like the best, safety group in the league, and now with the age, some injuries as well, obviously, that is no longer. Micah Hyde's maybe got another season with us at best. But when we're talking about a Madden standpoint, not even just real life, definitely need to replace both safeties. Might need to replace all 3 linebackers. Definitely DT too. Von Miller might retire after this season. Corner, I think, is fine. I think we're fine. But Rasul Douglas might actually move to safety. I know that Green Bay talked about doing that. Didn't really work out in practice, so I don't know if that's actually going to be a case that we can make. O-line, basically the whole O-line. Maybe even Dawkins at some point. I know I see him in free agency a lot, which means cap's going to become a problem. But Spencer Brown, gotta love when the big dudes become good, because they are fun to use in Madden, because they just look like freaking tanks. It's fun to see them get a pancake. And then wide receiver 2. I'm not sure what's going to happen with Gabe Davis here. Do we have enough money? Should we even try to re-sign him? I'm not sure. But regardless of the point, we're already on the re-signings. We have $7 million. I am going to actually release Hardy. I'm not sure how much money we save getting rid of him. A little bit. 2.5-ish. That's not bad. That's not bad. He's tiny, but I'm not sure why I brought that up. That's very random, but sure. Let's see what re-signings we even have. Surely there's got to be some if they went that drastic. 5th-year option, absolutely. Did they not do the 5th-year option for him? Gabe Davis. I don't think we can even afford him. I don't even think we can afford him right now. We have to lowball him, pretty much. Even that, look, we're down to like 90K. Thanks for, I mean, I wouldn't be either. What's the tag? Oh, we're replacing him. Same with Micah Hyde. Thankfully, and they did re-sign Rap, so I kind of have to re-sign him. I'm actually surprised he took that. Okay, we'll take that. And then what else? Rap, where's David Andrews? There he is. They also re-signed him to a 2-year deal. How much was it? And it's not Andrews, it's Edwards. Oh, it's a 2-year deal worth 6. So, I mean, I could live with that. Yeah, we're broke, though. I don't know what they're doing with Gabe Davis in real life. So, I mean, I can't afford him. So, we need a wide receiver, too. Probably what we draft in the first round. Why is Buffalo so desperate to have, quote-unquote, good safeties? Like, this team just loves to pay safeties. Apparently, they're giving Taylor Rapp a 3-year, $15 million deal. I don't know how much money it's going to be, so I'm just going to do, like, wait, total salary? Does this count, like... Surely a total salary would count... Yeah, it says cap hit, so... Like a per year... not a per year, but how much he would make overall. I feel like that's too much of a signing bonus. I'm just going to make it 50-50, because there's no details on the numbers, so... That's about 50-50, slightly more in the guarantees. But I think we're done with all of that money crap, which... Man, I don't even smoke, but I feel like I need a smoke after that. Of course, looking at free agency, Snead was tagged. Was Pollard tagged? I imagine he was. Maybe. Higgins was definitely tagged. Some pretty decent players here, actually, but once again, we're broke as hell. Tell me this team at least has most of their picks. I know they aren't going to have their own third because they gave it to Green Bay, but they got a 5th back, a couple of 6th in there, so... Wide receiver, I don't know about edge rusher. DT? Wide receiver DT, use a 5th or 2 5ths with the 4th to make a trade up for a lineman, and then fill in whatever we just lost with the rest. Sounds about right to me, which, you know what else would sound about right? If you left a like on the video, and maybe subscribed if you're new. Do a ton of franchise stuff around here. A lot of rebuilds, and I'm always looking for ideas for challenge rebuilds. Don't know if we're going to do a challenge rebuild this weekend, but some sort of other rebuild on Sunday. Let me know what team you'd like to see next. There's a bunch of different teams making a lot of releases and trades and whatnot. Well, maybe not trades, but and maybe you would like to see that team rebuilt next. I've been thinking about doing a 10-year rebuild as well. There's a couple of teams on my mind. Leave a suggestion down there, and that's about it. This team, 81 overall. We have a draft coming up, but it's going to take a little bit. This is not your normal reload. And here we are in the draft. I actually used a different person's draft class for this. I wanted a little bit more of an updated one. It was one of the most downloaded ones, so I downloaded Less Is More 3218s. It's spelled LESISMORE 3218. So check theirs out if you end up liking the class we have here. So looking at some of the players, just as reference, here's Marvin, here's Caleb, Joe Alt, Neighbors, Drake May, Bowers, Latu, Chop Robinson, Mitchell, a lot of guys that obviously made some money with their combine numbers. And let's take a look at Joe Alt. Let's see what the strength is. If it's reflectant, 33. I mean, close enough, kind of, right? The combine. As of late, it doesn't really seem like the bench press. I mean, it doesn't really do a whole lot for their real life strength, but. It is what it is. Wide receiver, obviously, a lot of these guys did move up quite a bit. I'm kind of aiming for, like, Keon Coleman, Worthy, even though he's on the smaller size, obviously, for that 40 time. Troy Franklin didn't have the best combine, and then Thomas did. Definitely expect him to be higher than a 2 to 3. Late first, probably. So I'm going to make the argument if he's there, that's maybe who I go with. Since there's a couple of 2 to 3s, though, we're going to move straight on to 28 and see if that wide receiver is there. I mean, obviously, wide receiver is a position that teams love to go. Jaden Daniels at 28, that teams love to go with in the first round, and I think it's Worthy. This team, I mean, they could use a guy like Worthy. Do I really want him as my number 2 wide receiver, though? I don't know. I think I'm going Brian Thomas. I think I like the height. I like the speed. A little bit slower here than real life, I guess, but Brian Thomas is my guy. And he's hidden dev. Not sure why he forgot to do the jumping for him, but sure. We'll boost that to like 93 probably, I think is a fair number. 28 in the second round. We need O-line, we need DT. I don't know if we're going to get either of those positions. We have a couple of offensive linemen. The center, we could move him around basically. because of that size. 3'4", 6'4", 310, 3'4". That would be a height. Definitely would be a height. Obviously, you could tell here. Ooh. Nah, I got to go the DT. Right? Do I? Or horo, huh? The bench press reps are really low, but O-line and user classes usually isn't the best thing to bet on. I think I'm going to take the DT. DT number 2, welcome. And he's hitting! Nice! 79 strength, that's something. I mean, 29 reps is like the new 40, basically. Like, it's just, there's not a whole lot to go off of with the bench press reps. As long as you're not having, like, an abysmal number, it is what it is. No one really cares that much. Oh, if you look at how many people can even bench press 225 in the entire world, it tells you it's not easy weight to push. All right, I feel like we traded a billion things to get to this spot, but I think we're going to be able to get a linebacker here that is decently fast, actually. I think get like a 4.49 here. I don't know about real life, though, but Cedric Gray, I think, is going to be our choice for linebacker. It says he ran a 4.64. He's got a 4.49 here. Let's see if he actually is that fast. 87 speed. Maybe a little bit slower, right? 85 would be a little more fair, I think, but normal dev anyway, so it doesn't really matter. All right, we trade 5th to 6th this, and 7th 2 years from now to move up with the Colts to grab a lineman. I was waiting for Frazier and Colby, and Frazier went first, so Colby is going to be next. Cohen's there too, but he looks kind of raw too. I don't know who to take, because they're both kind of mid-ish. Colby, who's 21 with 29 reps, or Foster, who's 21 with... I'm going to take Bryce Foster. Yes! Hidden Dev. 6'5", 325. It's got to be a guy that can move around a little bit too, no? Either way, we made a great pick and landed a Hidden Dev O-lineman in a user-created class. And then we're going to go with the speedster Tyler Harrell as our final draft pick in the draft class. All right, we're now down to like under $1 million cap space. We'll see if we can save a little bit more when we get into the roster in a second. But here's our draft class. Very low overall players. 73, 69, 67, 64, 63. And I will say, for the most part, this is kind of how EA usually does rate them. So maybe could have upped them a little bit for certain players. But overall, I think that's fine. Let's take a quick glance at like the main guys. You can see some of the guys in the early first are very high overalls. So... I mean, this isn't a terrible looking class just off of first glance. Like I said, very in line with what EA likes to do for their classes lately. But this is what, Brian Thomas looks like. Release is a little low. Jump, obviously, we're going to jump to, ironically enough, to like 93, I think is fair. He had damn near a 40-inch vert, which, I mean, that should be 93-ish jumping. Take a look at the dev while we're here. Star dev, didn't really expect any less or any higher, I suppose. Get him to 93, see what that does for his overall. Not much, so that's fair enough. And welcome to the squad. Oro, the new DT. Strength's a little low. I feel like 84 strength, even just based on the combine, is fair. Dev, star, 84 strength, boom. Doesn't change his overall either. Actually, no, it did. It jumped him 2. Forgot how low he was. Gray, 22 years old, normal dev. Not the worst player in the world. Definitely would like better. But as of right now, best option for our third linebacker. So, going to start. And, I don't know what happens with Foster because that is a low overall, even though he's hidden dev. Very low overall. Left guard, I guess. Here is this squad for Season 1. Not the best we've ever done, but we have a new wide receiver 2 in top. We have a new left guard. Right guard is Torrance, and Edwards, who they paid, is just going to be the backup across the board. Not really much else changed on offense, but defense has moved around a little bit. Brand new left outside linebacker, brand new DT2, brand new starters at corner, and then Rasul Douglas moves to free safety. I just think it makes the most sense because we have too many cornerbacks, and obviously he's on the older side. He can definitely last a bit longer in the league as a safety rather than a attempt to be boundary corner with lower speed. I think that's fine. We're hoping that we get some dev ups for either Benford or Elam. I think Benford's a little bit better right now, but Elam is the guy you kind of want to be the guy down the line, so I'm not really sure what I want to do here, because Benford and him are both the same age. Benford's slower, but he has a higher ceiling with that zone coverage being higher, and obviously if he gets a dev up, that's free XP on top of it, so I'm not really sure. I think you can't really lose with either being number 2, so I'm just going to leave it how it is. Also, Neil should be gone, I think. Greg Rousseau, he's always goated in franchise. He's always goated. Gets 10k XP and one more and he gets to Superstar. And Josh Allen is officially back to X Factor with a QB breakout win. Benford with the dev up, we talked about it. 5k XP only, but that is value. All right, some contracts. Taron Johnson could maybe use Elam for the future, but if we can get him on like a 1-year 14, I think it's worth it. Deion Dawkins is a lot of money, dude. Spencer Brown, I think, has to go. I can't afford, not calling him mid, but, pretty average offensive lineman. I don't think I can afford that. Rasul probably got to go as well. We're broke. What can I tell you? We are broke. We had ourselves an amazing season and just went on to completely choke. One last hurrah kind of seems to be Von Miller, which would save so much money. We're going to be clicking it no matter what, even if it wasn't Von Miller. Need that boost. This is not the best time for the Bills, but still, anytime you're in the playoffs, it is a chance to win it all. Drake May, where the hell did he go to become the #1 passing quarterback in year 1? Of course, like I said, a really good start, and then lost 4 of our last 5. Which, sure, there's some tough teams in here, but we're also a tough team, technically. But we'll take a look at those numbers as Josh Allen and company seem to be putting up a lot of points early on, so gotta assume there's some numbers in here. Josh Allen, 31 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, just under 4,000 yards. Should be some rushing numbers in there, which there are. Cook wasn't that great, though. Diggs, Thomas, Shakir. I mean, Thomas is a rookie, I guess. Not bad. Diggs, pretty fair what he does in real life. And then the tight end, though. Kincaid. Ugh. Really not liking those numbers. Torrance. If he was a high overall, that would be, a good enough to season to maybe even win, O-line of the year. It's really impressive, actually. Rest of the linemen, they're okay. Rousseau, please be enough for a superstar. Von Miller looks like he's going to retire. The rest, not so great. Picks, Benford could go to superstar. Johnson, I've kind of decided that I think I might actually let him go. We are in a spot. Bass, really good kicking, only missed one and was blocked. We're in a really bad spot cap-wise. He's 28. His man coverage is low. We have Elam, who even now is going to be, 24? I think that's fine. May went to the Vikings. Maybe the Vikings scheme is something to look at. Dak did pretty well with the MVP award. Wrong side. Looking at any award wins, did we win any? Number 4 for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Number 4 for Defensive Rookie of the Year. 6 for Defense as well. Best QB at 4 could get the Pro Bowl if one of those quarterbacks make the Super Bowl, or maybe we make the Super Bowl and we don't care about it. Cook at number 7. Wide receiver at number 10. O-line. I mean, it's just all about the overalls. 1 sack allowed as a rookie guard should be on the list. Rousseau at 4, Vaughn at 10. Linebacker not on the list. Benford at 3, which should be Pro Bowl, should be a dev up. Bass at number 3. But more importantly, the playoffs have been achieved, even though we did choke so damn hard. Going up against the Bengals, who are not that good of an overall themselves. 83 overall versus our 84. And they stole Trey White on top of it. Going to the end of the game. 0-all in the first quarter. Second quarter, we finally get some points. 7. Then we get another 7. They get a 7 right before half, that, which is massive to keep them in the game. We're up by 14. One more score should do it. Keeping them in the game still. They get the field goal. It's 11 points, 14 points again. And this defense clutching up, stopping the Bengals dead. Of course, looking at Allen, under 200 yards isn't great, but 2 touchdowns, no interceptions is great. Cook was mid. Receiving Neighbors. How the hell are they so good? What's going on here? Von Miller, 3 sacks. Rousseau with 1. Harmon with 1. And then interception, Milano with 1. That's the game. Defense clutched it. Von Miller trying to win another ring with a different team here. He's cooking up. Speaking of, last upgrade of his career, debatably. Run stopper is his main. So we're going to go with finesse, which puts him at 80 finesse. Oh, my Lord, please retire. I mean, Von Miller, be godly forever. Don't retire, obviously. We'll take the morale, though. We'll definitely take the morale. But yeah, he is a lot of money, and even though he did put up 8.5 sacks, those ratings are very bad. They are very low. The Chargers, 82 overall. We're an 84. These overalls seem so low, though. A lot of regressions in there, maybe? I don't even know, but here it is. And I'm not saying Baltimore is an easy dub, but they did beat the Chiefs, so you don't have to face the Chiefs to get to the Super Bowl. But will that matter for us, as it is a 10-14 game right before app? They get a touchdown. That could be it. We get the touchdown, but no extra points. We get the touchdown. I don't know if that was with a 2-point or not, but it is not looking good for us right now. Down 2, their drive. Touchdown wins it for them, and they moved down the field like they were the ones that needed points. And we're running the ball like we're them. What is this role reversal? And the clock is moving like we're the ones once again that need the clock to go. Holy crap, did they forget who was who? Perfect coverage. Oh, that is going to be picked off. Well, I mean, unbelievable play by the cornerback. That is insane. He went to the right and then left it. It didn't matter anyways. We were against, like, the entire grain. That is just crazy, though, that they're moving the ball like they're the ones losing. And then on the other side, we get the ball back down 9, and we run the ball. What's going on? They're passing the ball. They're moving the ball down the field. We're running the clock out. Did they literally forget who was who? Cook, though, I got to say, he has been ass. I mean, there's not really much we can do about it either, because unless you get like a 90+, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get those numbers. 2.6 yards per carry. 3.4 yards per carry. These are terrible numbers. Please, for the love of God, though, just retire Vaughn. We need our money. Just announce it. Don't ponder it. Announce it. Yeah, this is my last game. Congratulations. Yes. Although I will say I have seen it where they say they're going to retire and they just don't. Of course, the Chargers good enough to make the Super Bowl. Chargers versus the Packers. Some new teams, I suppose. It's going to be the Chargers. The Packers. So they stole our spot to lose to the freaking Packers. Of all the teams to lose to in the playoffs. Way to go, idiots. DevOps. None on offense. Not really shocked by that, though. And then defensively, Gray went up in dev. And I believe... Oh, no, Johnson went up in dev to star as well. That makes things a little more interesting. I'll be honest, but I don't know if that's enough. Is it enough to keep him? Because he is good. And we have money all of a sudden. Maybe I do. Maybe I do keep him. Maybe he goes to safety. 63 mil. Rasul Douglas would love to keep him, but I just don't think that's going to happen. Johnson wants quite a bit of money. A 2-year 28? That's not bad. Maybe should have just done the 1 year anyways. Elam, 5th-year option. That makes no sense. If I'm going to keep him, I'll just re-sign him next season. We could afford Spencer. We could afford Rasul. But I think we're going to try not to get into bad contract situations for players that I don't really see as cornerstone. I think I'm going to spend money in free agency. It's going to be guys that are like, long-term, high-importance players. Like a cornerback like Greg Newsome would be great. A linebacker like Joke would be great. Those types of players. But I don't know if I'm going to even go for them anyways. Julian Love. Kind of expensive. We just talked about safety. Do we feel like safety is a position that is worth paying that much? Probably not, right? Cornerback Newsome. Done that. Been there, done that. Also, not really interested in joining us. Joke. Kind of a joke of a contract. They think he's an edge rusher. A lot of teams not willing to offer that much. I just wanted to see where everyone was. Let's do a 1 year. Not 1 year, but you know what I mean. Let's get to 15 mil per over like 2. See where we're at. We have a higher offer than everyone else. $30 million for 2 years. That would be a fair contract, I think. That's great money for him. So I offered on Spencer Brown and Javonte Williams. Didn't get him, and then obviously Joke is not gonna happen. But that is unfortunate. Joke, a 6-year 130. Okay, yeah, you could have him every day of the week for that. Rasul, 3-year, 25. Best of luck to him. A 4-year 32 for Javonte, back with the Broncos. And then I don't even see, there is Spencer Brown, a 2-year 25, which is all very expensive. I don't mind saving our money if those were the costs that it would have been. All right, we have pick 26. There are not a whole lot of pass rushers, and we absolutely need pass rushers. So this could be a trade the farm for a pass rusher situation, as I have 2 round 1 guys. I don't know how I feel about it. I really don't know how I feel about it. But so far, so good, as round 1 could obviously be literally, the first 5 picks even. Still there. But I gotta say, if they go anytime like now, they're still there. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm A-okay trading up, and there's one of them. Okay, so 16, 10 spots. It's a lot, but it could have been worse. So we end up trading a first and a fourth round pick with Dawson Knox to the Rams to move up 10 spots, which I think is fair. That Dawson Knox pick seemed to be like or the value seemed to be around a like mid-third, and I think that's fine. Which with this pick, we're going to be taking the quote-unquote edge rusher Preston, who has an A power move, C block shed, not the fastest, because the right side says he's okay, but the left side says no, 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 but he's the only option we have, so Damian Preston, and I did feel he was going to be normal, but I'm just hoping that power move saves him. I guess it probably would have helped if I actually showed you guys the power move, but, you know, we'll see it afterwards, I guess. Byram was a guy I had as like a DT type, but, you know, not that big of a deal. Linebacker, there's some guys here that are looking pretty good, but that's far from our number one need. O-line is definitely something we need more, specifically tackle. Do I trade down and grab some other guys? I do like Hines quite a bit. Or do I just take, you know, our player right there? Also do have some cornerbacks that can maybe play safety in the future, or I just go Hampton. Do I just take a tackle? Bowman? I don't know much about him, though. Like, that pass block and run block looks terrible, but I'm kind of just banking on some of the other ratings, like A awareness, A impact, A lead, A run block power. I worry, though. I don't know if I like him. I might just take Hines. I'm going to take Hines. Jason Hines. Hidden Dev, thank you. We're going to trade in Osiris Torrance, a fourth next, and a sixth this for, I mean, Johnson, fair enough, but the third round pick in the draft. Theo Johnson, actually, he kind of has pretty insane athleticism, but as far as for like a rebuild sense here, he's not going to be able to do anything for us. So that wasn't a significant trade. That was just to save them money to be able to even do the trade. And with this pick, I'm going to be taking Corey Graham, who is likely projected to be our right tackle. Please. Yes. All right. Our O-line is in a pretty good spot right now. And honestly, I think we trade up for a linebacker if... Who is that? One of my players? Damn it. I'm going to have to trade up linebacker now. Kind of killing the future a little bit here, but we move up, well, I don't even know, another 10, 11, 12 spots to the Saints. Keep that sixth round this year to grab some sort of depth piece in the later round, maybe like a running back. We do actually have some decent-looking running backs. Also have a 6'6" wide receiver. I kind of want Vic or Bartell or Locke or something like that. Oh, wow. Choice is still there. Choice with an A zone coverage. It's a 2 to 3, though, which worries me. Linebacker. We need a linebacker, but very raw with the... I'm going to take Marquell Bean. I made a mistake. I should have went for Choice. Oh, well. Should have went for Choice. I was just thinking, like, linebacker. If we got a linebacker, we'd be set. But didn't really work out that way. 6'6" wide receiver still there. Do I find another way to trade up with the Dolphins here? But hey, people used to complain that I traded down too much. Now I've been trading up more than anything. So try to find a complaint now. Yeah, that's what I thought. Very easy. Stop trading up so much. Oh, wow. We're not trading with that team. All right, David Edwards and a sixth round pick to move up like a full round from the 6th to the 5th. I think that's very fair. Probably could have just done straight up Edwards and kept that 6, but it is what it is. We're going to be going for, I think, Van Buren. Let's take a look at Philibin. He was pretty fast, right? That's not bad. Van Buren, let's see. 6'6", obviously. Very fast. Then you also have this high man, decent zone corner. Very slow, though. Dion Johns. You know what? The ceiling of a 6'6" wide receiver could be superstar, so I'm going to take Van Buren. Oh! Hidden Deb! Did we do a thing? I don't know if Johns is good, but I definitely want to take a look at Choice, and I want to take a look at John. Or Johns, whatever. Maybe we made the right call for once. We sold on the corner, so I went with the opposite decision from last time. I was thinking, like, you know, last time I went with the linebacker when I felt corner, and I was about to go with the, you know, I was feeling wide receiver, and I almost went with the opposite. But 74 for the outside. You know, the two linemen were 72, 74. That's fair enough. Linebacker, sadly normal. Sadly 72 overall. And then Van Buren, 70 overall. So Preston, please actually be good power move. We can live with that. That is a potential future goon. Is it right end we need? I think it's right end. Number 90 is also a pretty sick number out the gate. O-line, we will start both of these guys, and we do need to move them, so I suppose we'll take a look at the devs. Great pass blocking for the future tackle here. Let's take a look if we got any devs. Star, obviously, we'll have some devs, but you know what I'm saying. Am I going to get some devs that are superstar? A little more balance from Hines, which I think fits a little bit better for that guard spot. Right guard, dev. Ooh, he is superstar. Okay. I don't know what to think because I wasn't really expecting that. Fair enough. Marquell Bean, almost call him Lee. He's okay. There's nothing really crazy going on here. Really good catching, I suppose. But yeah, probably should have went Choice. But we'll see. Maybe Choice sucked anyways. But based on what I see here, I think... oh, look at that juke move as well. This is one of those 6'6" weird players, which we'll take. Dev, sadly not superstar, but very good. But let's take a look at two different players. We had the cornerback, who I don't know if he would have went shortly after. His name was Choice. There he is, 76 overall. Oh, no. I sold beyond belief on this one. Even at star, he's amazing, but imagine. Okay, thankfully it was star, but... oh, what a sell. What a sell. What about the running backs? Vic, Bartel, those guys? They're actually still there into the 4th round. Vic, 76 overall. Thankfully normal, but insanely good. And then Bartel. I think there was... the other running backs were looking pretty good too, but... Bartel was kind of like... Vic and Bartel were the two I really wanted. Hidden dev for Bartel. If I had the choice at that point, though, I would have went Vic. So in fairness, I would have missed out on Bartel. What's the dev? Star dev. And here's Johns, the 69 overall normal dev. Still pretty good, though. Here we are with Season 2. X Factor Josh Allen is back. Need more out of Cook, but O-line-wise, left tackle probably, you know, draft a replacement. Center, or draft a replacement, but we do have 3 linemen for the future, it seems. Wide receivers, Van Buren maybe is a future wide receiver starter here. Kind of hope we just build a Super Bowl roster before Diggs retires, though. I think that'd be a lot more convenient. And then looking at the defense, I don't know what'll happen with Preston, but this could be the finished D-line. And then for Bean, I'm actually starting him over Bernard, as Bernard's on a contract year. And more importantly, the only difference between him and Bernard is that Bernard has 7 better zone. Everything else, though, Bean basically has the nod on. Even block shed is the exact same. And then safeties, obviously, Taron Johnson goes to free safety because of that zone coverage. And then we try out the younger corners at number 1 and 2. Need a new strong safety, could need a new middle linebacker, could need a replacement for Milano, and then, of course, a center on offense. But for the most part, the team is in a spot where we have almost every position set or developing. And stuff like this really helps out. 5-man coverage to Benford for free. Ooh, and Benford gets 10k XP. Benford's actually become kind of a goon. 24-year-old star with 85 overall, 81 man, 88 zone coverage, and has a chance to go to superstar. And that is worth. Preston gets to star dev. Only 5k XP because his overall is pretty high. We always love a bit of free XP for the quarterback. Josh Allen, another 15k. 87 mil negotiations. Obviously, Rousseau is going to be someone we want to pay. Probably do a 6 here and just hope he gets the superstar plus after, short time. Benford, obviously we want to pay him now. He is the future of this cornerback squad. A 6-year 78. Really? I mean, I thought I was overpaying at that point. Cook, I mean, he has been so mid. Wait, when did Elam become superstar? Hello? Did he get a player of the week? I don't know what's going on with these, like, superstar devs. They're just coming out of nowhere. Or did he have one last year? I don't understand. So, obviously, I re-signed Elam. Cook, I guess, even though I don't think he's that great. His overall is starting to get up there a little bit. I got to see if we had a player of the week or something and he won it. I guess it could be also off of training, but that would show up, though, right? So, Allen... Yeah, I don't know where these dev-ups are coming from. It might have been a training, and you can get them in Sim. New ability unlocked. I genuinely don't know. Like, we've had this a couple of times now. Usually it's like players that don't really matter too much, but Elam getting to Superstar is massive. And I don't even know how it happened. In the first 5 weeks? I'm actually, you know what? I'm actually going to look through the first, what was it? We seen the 6 weeks, and I don't think Superstar was there. We're going to look through the first 5 weeks and see if he had a game. Oh, I wouldn't know. No, that's not, it was training I need to look at, and I can't look at training stuff. Because all I can see is week 6. I have no idea. It must have been in training. It must have been an upgrade through training, which we didn't get to see, of course. Great. That's awesome. Didn't even get to see it. James Cook, I guess we pay the contract, even though I feel like it's kind of costly for a guy that really hasn't performed too much. But 32 mil left, maybe 30 mil left after re-signing Rousseau. That's not bad. We have the division no matter what. If we played a little bit better, though, we could have probably had the bye week. Had a couple of losses right near the end of the season, but so far, so good with this Bills rebuild. Yeah, losing 3 out of the last 5. Could have had the bye week, I imagine. But the playoffs are still the playoffs. We'll just be happy to be here. Let's take a look at the player stats. 36 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 44-75 for yards. James Cook, over 4 yards per carry, 11 touchdowns, 1,300 yards. Didn't change the scheme at all, yet out of nowhere, the team's cooking. Diggs was amazing. Thomas was pretty good. Shakir was decent. Dalton Kincaid was all right. I didn't actually see if Shakir was on my list of re-signings. Oh! 12 sacks from the DT spot. Preston as a rookie was great. Rousseau was okay. Oliver was okay. Benford might be no, actually he isn't superstar yet. A superstar. This was a really good year. This was a year to have. MVP did go to Lamar Jackson. Josh Allen at number 4. Allen at number 2 for Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year was 4. Rookie of the Year, no. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Preston. Should be superstar, which is amazing. Quarterback, number 4. Running back, number 7. Wide receiver at 3 and 8. O-line at number 10. D-line at number 4, 9, and 10. Linebacker not on the list. DB at number 2. Kicker at number 10. What a year we just had. Can we cap it off, though, with a Super Bowl win? Let's find out. Going to the end of the game. The Bengals failed to score. We did, though. Whoa, wow, hey, was that a safety touchdown? I'm pretty sure there was a safety and then a touchdown shortly after. Selling hard as we're now going to be down by those 2 points. Up by 5. Back down by 3. Come on, offense. There you go. Up by 4. That safety really playing a big factor in this game, though. And looks like they're going to get the touchdown. But with 2 minutes left, the team does have a chance. But they're kind of doing dumb things. Moving down the field. Looks like they're playing for the field goal. They're not calling timeouts. And I can't call a timeout unless I get on the field. The clock was running hard there as well. EA, please stop. I don't really like this Bills scheme, to be honest. I don't know. It doesn't really do it for me. All right. Oh, and he catches it. All the way down to the 6. I threw that to the left side, and he just threw it right into him. That was close. I thought that was going to be picked. Oh, not a great route at all. Thomas fighting down to the 1 with no timeouts. Do we run the ball? They got linebackers up. I don't think he can run the ball. There you go. Slot. Thomas cooked for 3 straight receptions, and we're moving on to the divisional round, I think. Of course, gotta avoid the miracle. But not going to happen. 35-31. I mean, the team was going to at least get to overtime without us, but I wanted to not leave it up to chance, and we didn't. Josh Allen, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, a perfect game almost. Rushing, I mean, he even fumbled. James Cook is so bad in the playoffs. Thomas cooked, though. Even without us, it's still like a, 120-yard game with a touchdown? That's still really good. Sacks, Rousseau is amazing. Preston and Oliver with sacks themselves, no picks. And then their field goal kicker missed, which didn't really change too much. Maybe we would have even had a better chance, because you definitely could tell that the AI was trying to just play for the field goal instead of, taking advantage of the time that they still had. Power move? Damn, didn't get the scheme fit. Let's see what that power rusher even is at this rate. Damn, he is so mid, though, for his overall. Like, his overall looks great, but he is pretty mid. I mean, his overall is definitely inflated a little bit. The Colts, 87 versus their 84. I mean, we just beat the Bengals. If we lose to the Colts, I would be a bit disappointed in us. Still some pretty damn good teams left in the race, even on the NFC side. I think I've seen the Niners and the Cowboys, if I'm not mistaken. 7-3. Halftime score, they're going to be leading. Nope, they're not. We get the touchdown to start the second half. It's a very weird, low-scoring game. 21-6 into the fourth. Defense is doing well. Offense finishes the drive off with a field goal, and the team does enough to move on to the championship round. Anthony Richardson, decent. Allen, pretty good. Rushing. Cook still just so bad in the playoffs. It's pain. Buckner with 3 sacks. Oliver with 2. Orohoro with 1. No picks. No missed kicks. Clean game. To the championship round. The Ravens again, though. 16-1. Who are they beating and by how much? Obviously, they didn't have the... I don't know why I clicked that one. Chiefs by 3. That's not a crazy amount. Eagles, Cowboys. Definitely would rather see the Eagles. Cowboys are just so busted in sim. Another really tough run if we want to try to win a Super Bowl. This is unfortunate. Here it is, the Ravens. We get the stop. We get a field goal, but it's still points. Oh, that's a really long drive for Baltimore. Did they just go like 90, it seems? Field goals for us, touchdowns for them. Down by 8 into the half. Get the touchdown, but do not get the 2-point conversion. Fourth quarter, defense is making a stand. Offense just needs to get scores, and that's what they'll do. Did they fail? No, they just got penalized on the extra point attempt. 3rd and 14, 4th and 2. Did they get the stop? He threw it away on 4th and 2. But it doesn't matter because the offense is terrible. And we get another stop. Oh my, the defense cooked. We're in the Super Bowl. Wow. Offense was horrible, and the defense cooked. Speaking of Cook, best game of his playoff career so far, apparently, with a touchdown. Very mid-offense, like we said, but the defense, even though the numbers aren't there, they stopped them time and time again. And we win 19-14 because of it. Super Bowl bound. Is it against the Eagles? Please don't be the Cowboys. Just don't be the Cowboys. Anyone but the Cowboys, man. Like, just anyone but them. Let's see it. Let's see it. Can't wait for it to be the Cowboys. Every time I always say that, it's clearly them. And it is, unfortunately. Still an 87 overall. Really didn't go up too much. Let's see how the Cowboys got here. Probably a bye week themselves. The Cowboys actually did have to play in the wild card. Won by 3 there. Then they beat the Giants by freaking 34. And then beat Philadelphia by 4. I don't like it. I don't like the numbers. I don't like them. But DevOps, did we have any? Don't think running back Thomas maybe had a chance. Did not happen. So no DevOps on offense, sadly. And then defensively, Preston went up in dev. Oro went up in dev. Benford went up in dev. Bean did not go up in dev, though, sadly, which is unfortunate. But we love the DevOps we did get. They were very, very good. Here it is, a matchup of 287 overall teams, actually, to decide who wins the Super Bowl. The Cowboys or the Bills. They start out with 7. We bounce back with 7. They score 3. We get 7. Huge drive before half. Don't get anything, but they don't either. 21-10. 28-10. Cowboys will not go away, though. 31-16. They're going to get the touchdown. There is a chance. 3rd and 10 if they don't get the stop, which they don't. We win the Super Bowl. The Buffalo Bills have won the Super Bowl over the Cowboys. We had to play some tough teams. The Colts, maybe not the toughest team in the world, but they've done some things in Sim. The Bengals, the Ravens, the Cowboys. Could have been worse. Could have had to play like the Chiefs, but Ravens are still really good in Sim. I've seen them win some Super Bowls lately. Cowboys are obviously like the ultimate Sim team. And we have shown that maybe we are also up there. Of course, the Bills ran their scheme, both offense and defense. I think the offense is okay, and then the defense is actually kind of my go-to for 4-3s lately. Feels like it's a pretty fair sacking defense, where it almost feels like the ratings do play a factor in, you know, what kind of numbers you get. As you know, Preston actually put up like 9 sacks or whatever in his rookie year, and then Rousseau on the other side with like 8.5. So some fair sim numbers. I've seen a lot of guys where there's like 4 or 5 sacks. Like, no, you need more than that. But I also haven't really seen any like guaranteed 20 sack seasons. But Josh Allen, I guess, outplayed Dak, but Dak did have, one less touchdown, which would have changed things with that completion percentage. Cook, best yards per carry game. Corum, starting running back there, did not play well. CeeDee Lamb was the best receiver on the field today, but it takes a village, and you can see we had Shakir with the touchdown, 68 yards. The tight end with a touchdown. Sacks, Dunlap with a sack. That's really proof of it, and Oliver with a sack. And they missed a field goal and extra point. That is pretty significant, can't lie. We're going to at least do one more season, maybe two. We'll see what happens. It kind of plays out like how bad our season is. Like if we were to miss the playoffs, might as well just call it, because realistically, you can't actually compete with the Chiefs right now unless you win 3 in a row. So if we don't win this next game with a really good team, or this next Super Bowl season, it's kind of pointless because we're still outshadowed by the Chiefs. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. We'll play it by ear. Definitely doing one more season for sure. Maybe 2 more. But let's go into this re-signing period where I think we're pretty much set. I don't think we need anyone else to be re-signed unless there's somebody I'm forgetting. Is there? 60 mil. Dalton Kincaid with a 5th year. Not even. There's no point. Just re-sign him. Call it a day. Bernard, not bad. Oh yeah, Shakir. Be nice to Shakir him for a couple of seasons. He's actually pretty good. But at the same time, for 8 mil per, I'll lowball him this. It's not even a lowball. 2 year 16. I'm down. I'm down with that. And, I mean, you keep the team together if you can. All right, McGovern's gone. Not all players, but, like, you keep most of them if you can. And I think that's it. Biggest need right now, middle linebacker perhaps. Another outside linebacker because Milano's getting there. Safety. O-line, but I'd rather just do free agency. Marcus, I would love for that to be like a 1 or a 2 year instead. Bird, I don't know if I like that. Tom's not bad. Edwards, too old. I think we go safety, and if we can't get that, that's literally all we do for free agency. Overpaid a little bit, 3 year, $39 million deal, but at the end of the day, this team loves its safeties, and that was by far the best safety on the table. If he can get to Superstar Dev, I think he can play that contract out as very high overall. So say what you will, but we have the best safety duo in the league again. We've done it. All right, we have pick 20 or 32 anyways, and we had a bunch of 1-2s. Obviously, they could have all went, but I just kind of feel like someone's going to be there. And worst case scenario, I can just go with, Man is still there. Don't really need a pass rusher, but value is value. A power move. I mean, I'm just saying value's value, but we'll see who is actually here and who is not. Oh, the speedy wide receiver is still here. I was going to say worst case scenario, I just go with Sullivan because he looks really good with that man coverage. I think I'm going to go with a wide receiver, B.J. McCann. 6 foot tall, 21 years old, A deep route B release with unbelievable speed. Almost guaranteeing this guy's normal dev, but the value is there. And yeah, normal dev, 97 speed, 94 excel, should be faster than that in fairness, but he is not a bad player. Could be a future star for this team. All right, going to be going to 32. There was a cornerback there at 20, and I was going to trade up, and I was like, I don't really care too much. We don't really need cornerback that bad. Value's there, but it's just not a positional need. DTs, there's a couple options. There's the gigantic nose tackle Reddick. There is a really good DT in Wheeler. We have 2 linebackers, though, and I think linebacker is a pretty big need. I don't know who to go with, though, because middle linebacker has a higher chance of being hidden, has a higher chance of being balanced, whereas outside linebacker, the potentials always look great, yet a lot of the times they're not hidden. A pursuit with A zone coverage is what we know about him, whereas Nicholas Guy, we know about the zone coverage, and we know about the play rec, which is a B. Impact block, C, hit power, C, man. Lol. I don't know who's better, Nicholas Guy or Ellison. Ellison looks safer, but he is a year older. No, if we go Guy, we still have a chance to trade up for Ellison. I'm going to go Guy. And he's hidden. Don't need to trade up for Ellison. Well, we could still, because Milano. But that's kind of my thought process there, is that Guy would have went sooner, because he's a 2 to 3 more than likely. DT's up there for needs as well, but I kind of want Ellison. There's some O-line too, like Johnson looks pretty solid. Solid Johnson. Kopp looks amazing. Burris. I might try to, sell our future a little bit for Burris and Ellison if I can. I'm going to go to 10. I'm going to go for 2 picks back-to-back. Unless they're gone, then never mind. Pretty costly. We trade a third this, 5th and a 6th next, and a 7th a year after with Bean to the Cardinals. We don't really need linebacker like him too early. Oh, did I sell? Oh, no. No, that could have been bad. We don't really need linebacker like him because we already have a hidden dev to replace him with. But I think, yeah, we got 2 linemen. I think Waters isn't that bad either, but we're going to go with Ellison here. I'm hoping he's hidden, otherwise we just made a really bad trade. And he is hidden and very athletic. That might be the most athletic linebacker I've seen like this Madden. With the jumping and the change of direction and the speed and all that, that is really good. It's costly, but I traded a full 2nd-round pick next year for this mid-3rd. If we expect to make the Super Bowl again, we're losing 13, 14 spots from a year in the future. We're at least playoff bound, so it's risky for us, but, assuming we are as good as we seem, I think we're fine. And this Burris guy just looks worth it. I will say his run block finesse and his run block in general doesn't look great, but he is very solid outside of that, and I have made a massive sell. Not that it was my... I can't really do anything about that. He clearly looked worth it. We did skimp out on DB again, but at the same time, we have the best DBs we've had this whole rebuild. Wide receiver 1 was normal, but he was a 77 overall. Both linebackers were hidden at 73 and 74. And then Burris, normal dev, 76 overall. I mean, he looked amazing for a reason. Just didn't get lucky with the dev. McCann, though. Catching's a little iffy, and short and medium routes iffy, but everything else is literally amazing. Even has great change of direction. Juke move's not great, though, to be fair, but very solid player. And then we look at these 2 players. I kind of want Edison to be the middle linebacker. I really do, but at the same time, he's 22, so the higher potential does go to Guy. What about the... Ooh, Ellison's actually the more balanced one, believe it or not. I don't know. I think Ellis is going to be the starter. Ellison, I think, is the starter. Better change of direction as well. But I am curious to see that dev for both of them regardless. But yeah, Ellison going into this thing, I think, is the starting middle linebacker. Guy, star dev, so the potential of Ellis being a superstar is definitely better than the other one because he's literally star dev. 98 at middle linebacker is definitely a move. Dev, also star, but still, I think he is the better player of the 2, even if he is older. But in the way, you can kind of argue that makes him the smarter choice of middle linebacker because the other guy will have more time to develop as a 21-year-old, so there's that. And I do want to see Sullivan, as he was there at 20, and I was thinking about trading at 18 or 19 to get him, but no, he's actually there, gone at 19. 78 overall, but normal, so very good, but did have normal, so it is what it is. All right, Season 3 team coming off of a Super Bowl win. Center is Burris, normal dev, which sucks, but he is a very good overall, at least. And then Diggs, now down to an 89 overall technically, but back to a 90, I believe, with this upgrade to deep threat, which still makes him a very good wide receiver. But this season, maybe next season's kind of his last, truly elite seasons. And then defensively, we added a bunch of linebackers, so the depth there is great. And, yeah, 2 superstar corners, some really high overall safeties. Let's see if we can go back-to-back. Not the best season, but the playoffs regardless. And I guess I couldn't really guarantee that we were going to be in them, but at 10 wins, it's pretty safe to guess. We did end up winning the division on top of it, obviously. We needed to win that game to guarantee that. Had 2 re-signings, wasn't crazy. Taron Johnson with a 1-year 18, and then Dalton Kincaid with a 4-year 46, which, I mean, Johnson's a little expensive, but Dalton Kincaid, I think, was pretty fair. His overall is not the best, but I think he was just good enough to sign. I think he'll be 30 when that contract's up, which is fine. We'll look to replace him after that. Josh Allen, his best season yet, might have been an MVP season even. Cook was okay, but worse than last year. Diggs was decent. McCann, was the number 3 on the slot and the regular roster, yet played really well. Might have done enough for 2 dev-ups, maybe to star based on the season, and then maybe 1 Rookie of the Year. Thomas, definitely down season. I was going to use Shakir, and I was like, you know what? McCann has just that speed. You know, we don't have that speed anywhere else. Russo, 15.5 is great. Preston, 11.5 is great. Oliver, 10 is great. Even 8.5 for Oro is pretty good. Kicking, Bass has been really good. Bjorquez, almost 55 yards per punt, which is, you know, probably league leading. Lost MVP by 1. Unfortunately, any award wins at all, though. Rookie of the Year, and then almost had Defensive Rookie of the Year with Ellison. Best QB in the end, though. Running back at 7 again. Can't get past that number. Diggs at 1. McCann at 8. No on the O-line. D-line, Rousseau. Preston at number 7. Linebacker not on the list. And then DB not on the list. Kicker number 2. Back in the playoffs. Can we win back-to-back Super Bowls? Let's find out. End of the game. I've seen the Raiders playbooks. Cook, 7-3, 7-6 with the defense making its play. Still 7-6. Halftime, 13-7. Now 19-7. Now 26-7. 26-14. 33-14. And a win. 33-14 defense. Kind of how we won that Super Bowl in the first place. Clutching up here. Baker Mayfield was their starting quarterback. Josh Allen, 307 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Cook with his best playoff game yet. And then Josh Allen had a bunch of yards, 72 yards with a touchdown. What else do we have for defense? You know, some okay sacks here and there for the most part. Kicking perfect. And a divisional round trip to the divisional round. Who is it? The Steelers. Interesting. 86 overall for them. 89 for us. Going to the end of the game, we got a really good start with a stop and a touchdown. 14-0, 14-7, 14-14, 21-14 right before half, and this is a close game back and forth. 28-24, our chance to take a real big lead. Don't take it. Down by 1, now down by 5. Driving down to potentially regain the lead. Got to go for 2 if you get it. And we do. We get both. Driving down for the field goal. 4th and 5. They get the conversion. And they don't get the field goal. And we're moving on to the championship round. Wow, what a game that was. Tua is a Steeler. Josh Allen threw a pick, but he was still pretty good. Chubb with 3 rushing touchdowns. Cook, another good yards per carry game. McCann, 139 yards with a touchdown. Kincaid with 2 touchdowns. He's been pretty decent for touchdowns in the playoffs. Preston with 2. Oro with 1. Byard and Williams with a pick each. Safeties matter too. Missed a kick, did Bass, but we still end up holding on for the victory. The championship round. The Ravens. Another chance to go to the Super Bowl by beating the Ravens. Don't see Trey White on that list. Maybe they lost him. Hope they find him. Loaded. Packers versus the Cowboys. We actually seen the Packers win a Super Bowl in this rebuild, so could actually be good enough to beat the Cowboys. But will it matter? Will we even be there to meet them? 7-10, 14-10. Nice touchdown before half. We're up by 3, 20-14. It's anyone's game. It's kind of like how last time went. Defense clutching up, and we're back in the Super Bowl, 28-21. Beautiful stuff. Both quarterbacks were pretty good, but Josh Allen was just a little bit better through the air. Cook, running backs in general, didn't really play well. Diggs with 2 touchdowns. McCann with 1. Duvernay with 3 for them. Sacks, 2 for Preston again. He's really killing it. And kicking was perfect. We did just enough, and we're headed back to the Super Bowl back-to-back years. Could it actually be a repeat? We'll find out. Super Bowl, is it going to be against the Packers? It, of course, is not. Who is shocked by that? Nobody. Cowboys at an 88 overall. We should be like a 90, I'd say. 90 overall. McCann, yeah, like I said, had a chance to go straight to Superstar and does. Star Dev for his season and Superstar Dev for Rookie of the Year. No other dev ups, sadly, though. And then defensively, no dev ups here either. I believe everyone here was already Superstar, so unfortunate there. But hey, the Superstar wide receiver, that is a nice dev up to have as we kind of already building a replacement for Mr. Diggs. And I just got him a speed upgrade. Let's see what the slot upgrade gets him. 2 to short route. So he's 98 speed now. Absolutely burning. Although I will say, definitely could use some catching. If that regular catching is still really bad. I don't know what the hell. The camera just like scraped off the top of the freaking stadium. The dome just got assaulted by the camera. Either way, here we go. Chance to repeat. Chance to give the Chiefs a run for their money in this decade. 10-7. 10-14. 17-14. Halftime. 21-17. The Cowboys aren't going away easily. Our defense is trying, but this is a different beast. 28-21. The defense will hold on, and we do get the repeat. We have to play one more season. Gonna try to get the three-peats. And honestly, there's really no point in even looking at the celebration. Pretty much all the same players are here, and we already just seen that. Of course, looking at Dak versus Allen. Dak technically outplayed. Corum, pretty good yards last time we played them. Corum was terrible. Cook, terrible again. Josh Allen in this pass offense, though, absolutely carrying. Rousseau with a sack. Preston didn't get a sack for the first time in ever. Maybe they're double-teaming him in this game. But back-to-back Super Bowl wins for the Buffalo Bills. This has been an utter success, obviously. And it once again show that we didn't do any force wins or restarts or anything like that. Boom. Back-to-back with the Bills playbook. Both sides of the ball, Bills playbooks. They're definitely doing their job. Maybe this is the move going forward. Not really seeing the numbers on offense to get running back or wide receiver dev ups too much. I mean, we got rookie of the year with our normal dev, wide receiver. But if he wasn't a rookie and he was star dev plus, you would have gotten no dev ups. So I don't know if it's good enough for dev ups, but good enough to win Super Bowls. Which, oh my God, I just sold so hard. Okay, I could have done worse. I could have done worse. We skipped re-signings, but I already did all the re-signings I needed. I'm pretty sure there are some names here in free agency, though. I am shocked I caught it in time. I guess I lost Dion Dawkins, but I can get him back anyways. And you could argue that maybe we should go for someone else regardless. There was a different tackle there, wasn't there? Stanley was cheaper, or same price pretty much, same age, but higher overall, so I mean, if you're going to re-sign Dion Dawkins, you might as well go for Stanley. And the DT position is interesting. But unless we can get rid of Ed Oliver, there's not really a reason to go for Chris Jones. So we'll see if we can. If we can't, so we're going to pretty much head to the draft anyways. We went crazy. 1 year 26 for Chris Jones and Ronnie Stanley a 1 year 22. The reason why I went with Chris Jones is that Ed Oliver needs a contract coming up. And his ratings are mid as can be. Whereas obviously you can see here, Chris Jones, his ability to get to the quarterback is ridiculous still. He's 33, which is 4 years older than Ed. But honestly, I don't even want Ed for one more year. And he should have some value at his overall. Of course, looking at the sack numbers, dropping a little bit. But overall, very good player with no real help around him. He now joins a super star-studded D-line. And like I said, we're going to be trading Ed Oliver here for potentially like a second-round pick, which is what we lost in the trade for that normal dev lineman. They want to give me an X-Factor running back. Yeah, I'm sure that's fair for you guys. I mean, I would do it, but like I said, that's just not fair for them. Could go Wilkerson, get ourselves a cornerback. Wilkerson's interesting. I don't want that guy. Wilkerson. Interesting. I'm going to take that trade, I think. Why not? All right, no second-round pick, so we're kind of just doing, well, I mean, no matter what the draft pick was, we're kind of just doing the futures. McCauley looks really good as a safety. I was going to draft somebody here in the first round, but there's a safety potential move. I'm going to trade down to like 12 and grab McCauley if he's there. The Chargers are giving me by far the best value I've seen. Almost every other team's like, here's a 6th and a 7th to move back 10 spots. At least that's a 4th-round pick. It's something. They end up getting a center with that pick. Pick 10 in the second round. Let's see if we made a sell or not. Let us see. McCauley is kind of the guy I want the most. Do have this cornerback Boswell at least. McCauley is still there, though. I think McCauley is going to be my guy. Future safety. The left side says he's faster than the right. I think he's good enough. And he is hitting, so we've done a good job. The DT Britain is still there. Could still go with Weldon, though. Britain looks great, though. Never been, to be fair, but we don't have much draft picks, though. I think we go to this round and see what's up. Westbrook is still there. I think you go trade up for Westbrook. Although Barber looks good, too. Hopefully it wasn't an overtrade. We traded 2/4 that were both late, I think. Actually, one was late, one was early to move up a full third round, basically. And I'm going to try to go up for the guard or center, Barber. But we're going to be taking the DT Westbrook to potentially replace Chris Jones soon enough. Normal dev is an L.5, but what can you do? We're going to trade in Shakir and a 4th round pick to move up a whole round. We take a little bit of a dead hit with Shakir, but I think it's fine. And we have apparently no draft picks after the 3rd round, but hey, Rams are my excuse every time I make unrealistic moves like that. Rob Barber, very good ratings. Hidden dev, amazing, actually. This guy looks really solid. Got a decent bit of money. I don't know where we went, right, but our money situation's been great for a while now, so I don't know what we did, but we put ourselves in a really good spot, and yeah, I mean, we're set for a while. I don't know if we have somebody to pay, now. Maybe that's what it is. Got to pay Thomas soon, but when we pay Thomas, Diggs is probably going to be gone, and then we have the wide receiver that was a rookie last year, and, I don't know. I think we just did well somewhere. Maybe the O-line being young, that probably is it. Once the O-line needs to be paid, that's when things fall apart. So need to future draft proof that O-line a little bit, which we tried to do, but yet another... Oh, no, we did land. We did the DT. We didn't get a normal. We didn't get a hidden, so fair enough. We actually did future-proof the line a little bit. Here we are for the final team. We went a little crazy in free agency. We got ourselves a new left tackle who's a superstar, and then we went crazy at DT with Chris Jones. And I didn't notice, but Milano retired, I think, or we just couldn't afford him, and he went to free agency. But either way, Guy is the starter there, and this is the team. Let's get into it. Can we do the three-peat? 133 mil, which means we got to be paying a lot of people, right? Not looking at anything too crazy yet. O-line, Gray is pretty cheap. Jones and Diggs, I don't know about Diggs. Maybe Jones. Johnson's gone for sure. We're actually in a really good spot. I think we're going to lose players, but that's not something we can control anyways, The age caught up, so it doesn't really matter. But fair enough. We will re-sign the guys that we can re-sign. I think that's fine. Not a great start, but a pretty good finish. We do lose the Cowboys, though. Is that a sign of things to come? Not a great year, but made the playoffs, and that's all that matters. We haven't had a bye week yet we have back-to-back Super Bowl wins. So, doesn't take much. Just got to make it. You just got to make it. Looking at the stats, Josh Allen, a pretty good year. Definitely not as good as last year, but a pretty good year. Cook, his best yards per carry yet. Thomas, best season yet for him. Maybe good enough for superstar. Diggs still played well. McCann was okay. Kincaid was okay. Blocking Stanley was bad, but once again, we talked about it. Doesn't really matter the overall. It's just, they're going to suck. Russo, 14.5 is amazing. Could go to X Factor. Oro with 12. Maybe that's because of Chris Jones. Either way, Preston had his worst year yet, which is saying something because he's pretty young. Even his rookie year was better than that. Gray with 3 picks. Picks were low. Bass has been really good. And then Bjorquez was terrible. 47 yards per punt when, a season ago, he had 55. MVP goes to Burrow. Josh Allen at 4. Any award wins? Probably not going to see any. D-line would have been our only chance, and obviously we didn't get it. So here it is. The final season. All the way and win or lose right here. Doesn't matter. 92 overall to the Browns. 85. They have Tyreek. It's a snowy game on top of it. Let's see what happens. Is that the Rams beating the Eagles in Sim? That is something. Here it is, 3-0. Driving back, 3-3. Still 3-3, and they get a field goal before half. It is a 3-point game in the snow. Down 10. We get a safety on them, but don't score a touchdown. This run could be over. It could be over, and they're going to win it. No! Why are we... Are we on offense? Bro, this is happening again like year one. Was it year one that happened? We're running the ball like we're the ones winning. Please, stop. Get some help. Down the field. Great catch. Wasting one of our timeouts. McCann got speed around the edge. Now, oh, I had him too. And that will be overthrown, thankfully, because Ward might have picked that. I had the inside. I think it was Thomas again. Thomas is cooking. Diggs on the inside route. See if someone wants to give him a chance. And I threw it right at him, and Ward makes another really good play. I might add Thomas again, but I felt like I didn't have the time to throw it. They have the inside, the outside shade technically on Diggs. Got to give it to him anyways. Somehow picked! Did he ever get that left foot down, though? I don't know who the hell Huffman is, but no. He is not good enough to make that play. Allen underthrowing the ball. I think, right? Am I blind? I think that's underthrown. That's just underthrown. Who is that guy? Who is Huffman? Is he a safety? Huffman. He's a 89 speed, 6'3", like, randomer with, like, no ratings, and he locked us up. Oh, he does have 88 man coverage, though. Damn it! Of course he had to be goated at man coverage. Well, there goes the three-peat. The only way for us to beat KC would be to do 2 more seasons and win those 2 Super Bowls, which obviously is a lot of commitment. I'm just going to be happy with what we have. 2 Super Bowl wins, which came in back-to-back fashion, which is not the easiest thing to do. That would put us in the history books. Josh Allen is terrible well before we made him look bad. James Cook, 2.9 yards per carry. James Cook, man, decent regular season runner and just awful in the playoffs. Just terrible. But still, like we said, it is an obvious success in this rebuild setting. We'll take a look at who wins the Super Bowl, take a look at the ratings of the players that we developed, and call it a day. The Browns versus the Seahawks. The Seahawks of all teams. That is a team I almost never see. And they win the Super Bowl. Fair enough. That's kind of a fun one. Interesting. Stanley did drop in Dev. Diggs just retired on us. Thomas went up in Dev, though, which is clutch, as he's now the number 1 on this team. Medium's pretty good. Deep route's amazing. Catching's great. Speed and all that's great. Release is decent. Definitely developed nicely. McCann would be the new number 2 wide receiver, which obviously he has the ability to do so. 86 overall. Amazing release. Okay medium. Great deep. Catching finally got up there a little bit. Speed excels great. Just needs to upgrade that short route, but he's all, overall really well. Really good. James Cook never got there, right? Like he's regressed now, and yeah, he's okay, but he's not amazing. It's pretty unfortunate, to be fair. I guess we'll go look at Josh Allen, who I also think might be regressing. 32 years old, that makes sense. Yeah, pretty significant regressions as well. 14 points, but very good, obviously. Still definitely has some years left in him. Let's take a look at Kincaid now, who is an 87 overall. He was actually a guy that developed a little bit better than I thought he would. Very good catching, and route running's not bad at all. 80, 75, 75 is pretty good. O-line, do we care? Not really. Not really, to be honest. DT, we lost Chris Jones to retirement, so we would need a new DT. Oro, 83 finesse. Block shed's okay. Power move's okay. Had himself another really good year. Preston, the 89 overall, definitely a goon. Don't know why I looked at progression. He didn't dev up or anything like that. Block shed's not great, but power move is. Speed, I don't think, went up even 1 point, which is really unlucky. And then I guess we take a look at Rousseau, because we're looking at the D-line. X Factor, 28 years old. Solid block shed. Okay finesse. Really good power move. Athleticism's really good with that excel at 94. Then we look at corners where Elam's an 89 overall. I'm shocked he ever came close to that. No man coverage, but great zone, great press, athletic as can be. And then Benford, I had a feeling he could have developed, and he did for us. Superstar development trait himself. Man coverage is 81, 97 zone coverage, 88 press, which is pretty good. Would like a little more balance, but fair enough. Safety's no point in looking because we would have had higher overall versions of them before this. Guy, actually not bad for balance, and obviously pretty young. His first year starting on the team. Then we look at Mr. Gray, who was actually really cheap. It was like a 2-year 11, ended up doing a 5-year 28, I think, or something like that, 5-year 34. amazing block shed, pretty damn good coverage ratings, and athletic. So, I mean, definitely worth the re-sign, and he's a pretty good player for us. We've never had elite linebackers, but definitely good enough. A top 15 tandem of 3. I don't think that's even the word tandem. Top 15, literally number 15 for Ellison. Very good fitting move there. Not great block shed, but very good in coverage and athletic as can be. That's going to be it, though. If you guys enjoyed this one, how the hell is Higbee a superstar? When the hell did he become a superstar? Like, actually, must have done it with the Rams. But if you guys enjoyed this one, maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, I do appreciate continued support on the channel. Maybe follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel, PK Plays for non-Madden content. Uploaded Spider-Man on Wednesday? I think it was Tuesday. So maybe check that out. Been getting close to finishing that game, finally, in the sense that I'm taking way too long to complete it. Not that I don't want to play it. And yeah, if you guys have a team you want to see next or a challenge rebuild you want to see next, let me know in the comment section below. Don't know if there's going to be anything here on the main channel tomorrow, but Saturday should be the Bison's off season. Maybe some other video or two, and then Sunday, some sort of rebuild. So we'll have time to maybe implement something you guys suggest or a team you guys suggest, if you suggest one. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you guys come back for next video, but until next video, see ya!